vision. Improving life today. Inspiring progress tomorrow.
Following birth, newborns are protected from infection by immunity transmitted to them by their mothers. Over the next few months, their immune systems develop and begin to assume responsibility for fighting infections. Sometimes, babies don't have the ability to fight off routine infections on their own, and this could be a sign of severe combined immunodeficiency, known as SCID.
SCID, or severe combined immune deficiency, is actually a group of diseases that all have in common the complete absence of immunity. So babies with SCID are normal at birth, and they're really healthy until they sort of start getting out into the world at 3-4 months of age, and they start encountering the germs that we all live in, and lacking an immune system, they develop overwhelming infections. And so typically babies with SCID aren't diagnosed until they're 4 to 6 months of age, at which point they may be very sick.
These kids don't get better on their own, and progressively, if they are not taken care of, they invariably end up dying within the first year of their life. So the recognition of this diagnosis is very important for trying to help these children out with their disease process.
Diagnosed with SCID at 5 months old, Loden Kloppenberg came from Colorado to Children's Hospital Los Angeles to undergo a peripheral stem cell transplant in November of 2003. His donor was his mother.
Didn't know what to do. Didn't know how we were going to get through it, if we were going to still be a family after the treatment and everything, and if our son was going to survive. It was just like being in a dark hole and not knowing our way out.
Each bone marrow transplant is a life and death situation, a tense drama for the patient and the family, as well as the care providers.
So it's now 2 years since Loden's transplant, and as you can see, he's basically a normal-looking child. We think his immune system has been completely restored, and we think his prognosis is great, that he should have a normal life expectancy, free of infections other than the normal things that other kids would get.
Loden is doing very well. He is growing normally, has normal immune function with normal T cell function, has had no hospitalization since his discharge from the hospital, and is growing very well.
What we are looking at today is his overall development 3 years after his transplant. So I look at overall cognitive functioning, language development, fine and gross motor. Thank you. And see how he's doing, because I was able to evaluate him before transplant and every year afterwards. Thank you, honey. And Loden is doing great. He is talking up a storm, right, Loden?
Yeah.
Yep. And he is playing his language development, his thought processes. He's doing amazing. I'm really proud of you. Are you proud of you?
Yeah.
Say thumbs up. Thumbs up. Good job.
You would never know that he's been through a stem cell transplant and been in a hospital for 8 months under isolations. It is just absolutely a miracle.
The science of bone marrow transplant is still evolving. While providing this potentially life-saving medical care, ongoing research is essential.
Every child with SCID that comes in here has some unique features that teach us new things. It might be how they were diagnosed, what's causing their SCID, how they respond to the treatment. And so every child that comes here for a transplant is entered into a research study to try and capture this information to make us treat the next child better.
So we take the things that we've learned from patients, whether they be blood tests or x-rays, or what they tell us, and we take them back to the laboratory to work on the disease, to understand it better, and to develop those new treatments.
Children's Hospital Los Angeles has been treating the sickest, most seriously injured children in Los Angeles for more than a century, and it's acknowledged throughout the United States and around the world for its leadership in pediatric and adolescent health. Children's Hospital is one of America's premier teaching hospitals, affiliated with the Keck School of Medicine of the University of Southern California for more than 74 years. It is a leader in pediatric research.
In the almost 20 years since I've come to Children's Hospital Los Angeles, my research has focused on gene therapy, trying to develop new ways to treat these immune deficiencies. And the goal would be to learn how to take a patient's own bone marrow, put in the gene that they're missing and transplant that back into them. We think this would be safer than using someone else's bone marrow and maybe as effective. And so we've had an ongoing research program trying to develop this technique. We've done several clinical trials, and we think we're very close to actually being able to benefit patients with gene therapy.
The hematopoietic stem cell transplantation program at Children's Hospital Los Angeles specializes in treating infants and young children with blood diseases, as well as some forms of leukemia. Children's Hospital Los Angeles specializes in transplantation of extremely young patients, many of whom are under a year old.
The BMT program at Children's Hospital Los Angeles is really unique because of its focus on treating small children. More than half the patients we treat are less than 5 years of age. And so everything that we do in the unit, the nursing care, the instruments, the medicines, are all tailored to treating these very small children.
Since its inception, the bone marrow transplantation program at Children's Hospital Los Angeles has had this basic emphasis on developing the best ways to correct complex and challenging childhood diseases. That is, to treat infants and children with immune deficiency and genetic diseases.
Well, one of the things that's unique about the BMT program here at Children's Hospital Los Angeles is our dual focus on clinical care and research. So every child who comes in with immune deficiency, not only do we treat them, we also try and understand what caused their immune deficiency, how can we diagnose it, and how can we treat it better in the future.
There are many unique aspects of our program, but perhaps the most important, I think, is the blending of basic research with the search for better and safer treatments for children with critical life-threatening disease.
All of the advances that we've made in treating childhood disorders like severe combined immune deficiency have primarily come from academic medical centers like Children's Hospital Los Angeles. So I think as we continue to move forward into the future, our research coupled with our clinical care will lead to safer, more effective treatments for these diseases.
I think medicine has to be moving forward all the time, especially in areas like ours where children are so sick and their diseases are often rare. And our ability to look at every child on a very basic level and translate that clinically gives me great hope.
The hematopoietic stem cell program at Children's Hospital Los Angeles will continue to be a leader in developing medical treatments for these rare but serious childhood diseases. For more information, contact Children's Hospital Los Angeles today.